Hey, it's me. Today, I'm gonna be doing something that I know some of you have been waiting and waiting and waiting for me to do. Painting my blank Russian nesting dolls. So these have a bit of a history, okay? I've been talking about doing this video forever, and I've just casually shown these like over and over as something that I just have laying around that I need to paint. Ooh, this is my Russian nesting doll that I need to paint. Oh, I have two of these, what? I need to paint these. Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. So I actually have two sets. This one was a little mummy for the longest time. I finally unwrapped it.
Interesting stuff.
I like that this one is so much larger, but I am really not a fan of the shape of this, like the cone head kind of look. It's just not as cute of a shape in my opinion, and this is just not fitting in with what I have planned. Ow! So I'm gonna paint this one. Painting Russian nesting dolls, it may not be something that's super popular. Let's just say it's not trending, but I don't really care. I'm personally very interested in doing this, and I've been waiting forever. So, let's. Hello? Hello? Okay, so here is our little friend, who's actually the biggest little friend of all of our even littler little friends. If you're unfamiliar with Russian nesting dolls, then I'm honestly scared. That's okay, no judgment. There's a big mama, and she opens up and gives birth to a slightly smaller doll. Crack that one open, and there's an even smaller doll inside. Inside of that, there's a little baby doll. And finally, there's the tiniest little one. It's a fetus, and they can now go back inside of their mom. Very cool and unnatural. Now, one problem with this particular set is one more time. Love it. Several of these are very hard to open. It's just not the fun experience that you're really looking for. On the other hand, one of them, it just keeps falling apart, like it won't stay closed.
Come on, keep it together, girl.
So for the ones that are kind of getting stuck, I'm just gonna use some sandpaper. Ugh, stop! To just shave down the shape a little bit and try to get a nicer fit. This did work out pretty well, so I just went ahead and continued that with any of the others that were having the same issue. Don't know what to do about that one though. Okay, so since these are like naked wood, I'm gonna use, bowling pins. What the heck? Yeah, I'm gonna use some gesso on them, so I thought the best way of doing this would be to take them all apart and then just paint them like that. So here we go. Whee!
Please be quiet.
So the gesso is just to ensure that the paint adheres nicely and that I'm gonna get a nice bright even color and that the colors aren't just seeping into that wood. I've been having some trust issues with gesso lately, like, are you really who you say you are, or are you just white paint pretending to be special? I'm feeling trusting today, so do your thing, gesso. So let's do this. Boom, blam, blep. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you're breaking the fetus. Okay, there we go. Take your time. And the gesso seems still a little bit thin, so ba-boom. Applied another coat. Looks the same. I noticed this one's got a little wobble going on. Kind of cute, but also really annoying and not cute at all. So here's the cause of it, that little nipple. I'm just gonna slice that off. Better. It's time to start decorating these, starting with Big Mama. I was like overly concerned about painting these shut, and so I just kept the crack open a little. Oh, yeah, a little something. I'm just painting this one a solid pink, and then I'm gonna use that with some red to create a little bit of a darker shade of pink. Oh.
Oh, yes.
If I were a photographer, my specialty would just be taking photos of paint. Wait, what? What could be more beautiful? I actually did take a photography class, and one of our assignments was to document action. So I froze paint into ice cubes and then photographed it melting. That's action. My professor was like, oh, sure, yeah, I guess that counts. I've added a little gradient to this one, and then I'm gonna move on to the next one. Oh, she's still falling apart. Going in with a nice orange for this one. So we did pink and now orange. Do you have any guesses of what I'm doing?
Yeah.
If you guessed rainbow, then you're dead wrong. I'm actually not doing rainbow, and this is not sarcasm this time. This is actually going to be a little mango, so I'm doing just like a nice gradient of colors. Also, let me apologize for my slightly beat up hands. I've been working outside, and so my baby hands are getting injured. I was blending this for, it felt like at least 2 weeks, but it was actually probably like 20 minutes. It didn't help that I kept on dropping it. Or just like messing it up in some other way.
Oh my gosh.
But eventually I got it to a place that I was happy enough with. I'm gonna leave this one here and move on to the next one. And we're doing green for this one.
Ooh, that's thick.
As you may have noticed, I'm just kind of working on all the background colors of these, and then I'll go back and go in with all the details and all of that. I am actually using my heat gun to help them dry faster. Yeah, that's all. Who's next?
Hi. Hi.
This one is getting a yellow background, and I actually did end up painting this closed. Luckily, it's really not that big of a deal. It's not the strongest force on earth. Who knew? Alrighty, and last, the tiniest one.
There you are.
For this one, I went for blue. Just, struggling. Are you struggling there? You! Stay. And I'm gonna add a little gradient to that one. This was a little bit too dark, so let me just, that's an interesting angle. Lighten that blue up a little bit, and okay. Cool. Okay, these are all the background colors. The blue one looks quite random. All the colors kind of go together, and then there's just the blue one. But that's fine. Let's get to the fun part. So I'm starting to sketch my design. What I've decided to do for these, I know you must just be dying to know.
No.
Yes, you are. I'm doing animals in fruit costumes. Ow, ow, ow. I have an aggressive bug bite in my armpit. I think one of the biggest reasons I've been holding off on painting these for so long is because I just didn't feel like I had the right idea yet. I knew they had so much potential, but I hadn't fallen in love with any of my ideas yet. I love the traditional designs. They're really, really pretty, but I knew that I wanted to make these in my own style, and it's tricky to choose a design that works in this egg shape. Most of the sets that you see that aren't the traditional style are based on characters from movies or TV shows. I usually prefer to make up my own characters, and this was no exception. Ow, it itches. So I was kind of experimenting with the style that I was going to use because I hadn't quite pictured it perfectly in my mind yet, but I ended up hating that. So I went over it and tried a bit of a different approach, which I liked much better. I did want to choose animals that I like, but also that I don't do all that often because I think I do a lot of cats and bunnies and bears.
Oh boy.
So I'm not going to do any of those. This one happens to be a baby seal in a strawberry costume, and I made it a very light pink instead of white. Little strawberry, it's cute! The fruits that I selected, I was somewhat limited with the options because there's only so many fruits that are going to be easily recognizable in an egg shape. So there's the first one. Definitely unique. Can't say I've ever seen a Russian nesting doll looks quite like that. Moving on to the next one. Whoa. What's in the corner of the frame? No. For this one, I'm going into the ocean. Or, nope, excuse me, the pond. Because this is a goldfish.
The return of Orange Fishy.
I painted a goldfish in the ocean on one of my hydro flasks, and some people were very concerned about his survival in a saltwater habitat like that, because that's not where he belongs. Try to keep your shirt on. I'm putting him in an even more dangerous situation this time. He's straight up breathing in air right now, okay? He doesn't have lungs. He's gonna die. It's okay though. Try not to worry about it too much, because, it's not real. I actually love this little fish. He's just so stinking cute. Just look at that pouty face. I added some dots around the mango just to give it a slight texture, and there we go. That one's done. Fish in a mango costume. All right, moving on. Or
Side.
This one. This is gonna be a panda. I drew the paws on crooked. Luckily, I was able to just turn it and fix that. So that's nifty. And the panda is going to be inside of a watermelon costume. It feels kind of weird calling these dolls because I don't know, they're not very doll-like. They seem more just like eggs. These have been around for quite a while. We begin with the very first Russian nesting doll, or Matryoshka doll, but please never make the mistake of referring to them as babushka dolls. Oh heavens, no. But for real, they were created in 1890 according to the thing that I read just now. And originally they were made to be used as toys, but they're really not used as toys much anymore. They're mainly for decoration or just collectible. This panda I made into a pink panda, not Pink Panther. Actually, it's more kind of a red panda, not an actual red panda. I wanted to bring in more of the watermelon vibe, you know, with the full watermelon color scheme, but I kind of feel like this may have been a little bit cuter if I had just stuck with the classic panda colors. But you know what? I'm kind of just realizing that right now. But that's okay. This came out cute anyway, so no big deal. For the yellow one, I wanted to do a monkey in a banana suit, but since the main distinguishing characteristic of a banana is really the shape, there's really not much else going on that will give you the indication that it's a banana, I felt like this was going to be pretty hard to make this egg shape look like a banana. Banana, banana, banana. So I went with a pineapple instead, but I kept the monkey. And at this point, it was getting a little trickier to do the detail work, because this one is pretty dang small. It kept looking like a hairy human baby. I'm trying to make it look more monkey-ish. I decided to give him a confused expression because of the whole pineapple situation. And finally, the tiniest of them all. Also, probably the most challenging to make look decent. One thing that always bothered me about these nesting dolls, especially the ones where they're the same design over and over and over, and each one just loses a few more details. It bothers me because the smaller they get, the more incomplete they feel.
Oh my gosh, she's so pretty. She's cute too. Oh, little derpy. Ooh, yikes. What the heck is that?
And the tiniest ones, they kind of have a tendency to be really creepy and ugly, which I understand because it gets really hard to paint a face that small. I also really prefer the completely different design on each doll instead of making them all the same design, because it just makes it more interesting. And every time you open one up, it's like boom, bing, bomb. So this one is meant to be a frog in a blueberry costume, and he's scared. So now we have the full painted set. I'm gonna break each of these apart and add some varnish. Definitely an important step because these are meant to be handled and taken apart and kind of like clinking against each other, so definitely want to protect that paint from chipping, and also definitely want to apply the glaze to the top and bottom separately because this stuff is a lot thicker than paint and it's very glue-like, so it will glue them together. Okay, and here they are. Oh, I love them. Oh, I love them so much. I had such a blast making these. I'm really glad that I finally got around to it, and after doing one set, I have actually a bunch of ideas for others. I may have already bought a set that's actually twice the size of this one. I'm not sure if I will do that one in a video or not. I'm not expecting this video to be like super popular or anything because it's not really something that you see a whole lot of people currently doing. This might just be a one and done kind of thing, but I mean, if you guys do happen to want to see more, then I totally would make that one in a video as well. I really hope you guys like what I've created. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye. Oh, I almost forgot to show their little butts. So cute.